Good morning, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Anniston, and all of Central Alabama. You're watching the CBS 42 Morning News.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us here on CBS 42 Morning News. I'm Alex Finney, and as always, Michael Smith is here to give you the rundown on the weather. But before we get to that, Michael, this pumpkin right here that you carved.
Like that? Yeah, that was
amazing.
One of them. Carved another one too.
Look at that.
Yep, all lit up.
Awesome. And you said it took you some time, right?
It did. It took a couple hours, and I want to point out that this pumpkin is lit up with battery-powered lighting. Okay. So, considering the drought and the rain that we are in desperate need of, that's not happening anytime soon, just a friendly reminder, we'd love to see your pumpkin pictures. If you're carving them out, you can send it to reportit@wiat.com and light it up, but not with fire. You feel me? All right. Temperatures on this Saturday morning in the 50s and 60s. Record heat yesterday. We're going to do it all over again today. Currently Birmingham at 58, 54. Good morning to you, Anniston, 56 in T-Town. Okay, high temperatures will soar to at least 87, and that will be a new record for the day. Okay, yesterday we broke a record of 86 set way back in 1900. Now as we head into the overnight hours and into the day on Sunday, more of the same. Those temperatures soar. The drought is continuing to build. Exceptional drought conditions for all of Metro Birmingham down to Alabaster over to Talladega. And today we've got the Magic City Classic, Legion Field, 3 o'clock kickoff. Temperatures right around 86 degrees. Weather on the go. You can have the forecast anytime, anywhere. Just search WIAT weather in the app and or the Google Play Store. Alex?
All right. Well, Michael touched on this during weather. As we go longer and longer without rain, wildfires continue to be a major issue across our area. We're talking to firefighters and asking them what people can do to make their homes less flammable. Well, Homewood Fire Chief, John Bresnan, says you've got to get dried leaves and grass and other flammable items off and away from your house. Driving around Homewood, our news team says homes with dry leaves and pine straw on the roof and on the gutter was a pretty obvious sight there. And if it catches and sparks a fire, well, it could be a disaster.
If something like that on the outside of your house catches on fire, the smoke detector won't go off until there's been significant burning of the house. It's going to have to migrate inside. If it's on your roof, it's probably not going to tell you via the smoke detector. So that early notification that you might normally get on a fire in your house, you might not get until it's already gotten out of hand.
Despite an ongoing burn ban, fire departments in our area tell us they are still getting calls about people burning things in their yard. If you want to clear leaves and brush, don't burn it. Bag it up and leave it for the garbage. New this morning, Alabama's Attorney General says he welcomes the Supreme Court reviewing a case concerning transgender bathroom rights in schools. Yesterday, the U.S. Supreme Court agreed to take up Gavin Grimm's case, a Virginia high school student who wants to use the boys' bathroom at high school. Grimm says although his birth certificate says female, he has transitioned to being male. A lower court ruled in the student's favor, but the Supreme Court agreed to temporarily stay the ruling while it's considered the school board's appeal. Attorney General Luther Strange released this statement concerning the SCOTUS decision, saying, quote, "The Supreme Court's actions are an indication that it could eventually overturn the illegal transgender school restroom order and restore control of such decisions to parents and local school districts." Developing now, a Jefferson County Sheriff's deputy is charged with attempted murder. This stems from a shooting in Center Point back in August. Lakeisha Hampton turned herself in and bonded out of jail after the indictment was issued Thursday. This is all part of a domestic violence-related shooting that happened in August on Saturn Lane. We're told that Hampton was at home when her ex-girlfriend showed up. At some point, they started arguing and Hampton shot at her. Hampton was not on duty when the shooting happened. In campaign 2016, several states are already heading to the polls with early voting. The lines have been long, and it's the case at one polling place in Austin, Texas. There's so many people trying to vote, the city's mayor is giving out excuse forms if you miss work.
Austin City Hall always expects big crowds, which is why no one expected these signs to bring in more than a steady trickle of early voters.
This was a breeze. It was very quick and very easy and very calm.
Mike Berman says start to finish voting at City Hall took 5 minutes, but earlier this week he tried to vote at Randall's and couldn't wait it out.
The folks at the Randalls that I talked to said all week they've had unbelievable crowds, 40 minute to an hour wait.
Waiting in a line this long could eat up a lunch hour. It's a problem that's not lost in the mayor's office.
It's an excuse. I've signed it.
This letter of excuse comes straight from Mayor Adler.
The mayor's office is issuing these tardy excuse forms.
Give it to your boss.
What employer could argue with this?
And there's now no excuse for not voting.
Who knows? There could be thousands of people in the city, maybe not, showing up with excuse notes from the mayor.
He's joking, but the record-setting crowds expected to cast ballots this weekend might not be.
We could see at least 60,000 people vote this weekend. It's entirely possible.
New this morning, jury selection begins Monday in a high-profile murder case in Charleston, South Carolina. The pretrial hearing for North Charleston police officer Michael Slager wrapped up yesterday. He's accused of shooting and killing Walter Scott, an unarmed black man, last year. Defense attorneys presented a box full of some 2,800 pieces of evidence. Slager was caught on video firing at the 50-year-old father of 4 following a traffic stop. Also new this morning, the parents of murdered TV reporter Allison Parker are in Maine to support ballot question 3. It asks voters whether they want to expand background checks on gun sales and transfers. Since their daughter and news photographer Adam Ward were shot and killed on live TV, the Parkers say they've worked to turn their grief into a mission to end gun violence.
Our purpose in this is to save the next life, to prevent this from happening to another family.
And no one should have to go through what we've gone through, what other parents or loved ones that they've lost loved ones through gun violence.
Question 3 would require background checks for private sales of firearms, with some exceptions. Right now in Maine, background checks are only required at licensed dealers. Opponents of Question 3 say the measure will do nothing to keep guns out of the wrong hands, but will put more restrictions on everyone else. Well, your time right now, it's 5:37. A city comes together to celebrate a child with cancer. After the break, the big surprise he's getting from police. It's a story you don't want to miss.
Today at Ole Miss, only the second road game for Auburn the entire year. We go out to Oxford coming up in sports.
Speaking of the roads, live look on this Saturday morning. Interstate 65, the camera looking north. Things are dry. It's going to get hot again this afternoon. My storm track forecast coming up.
You're watching the CBS 42 Morning News.
Good Saturday morning to you, Central Alabama. Thank you so much for joining us on this Saturday morning. Kicking off the weekend, clear sky, temperatures comfortable in the upper 50s, well above average. We should be waking up to temperatures in the upper 40s. Yesterday, we tied a record, Birmingham Shuttlesworth International 86, which was set the first time back in 1900. So today, forecasting 87. Today's record is 86. Some more record-breaking heat as we head through the weekend, and that trend is likely to continue. In fact, it will continue over the next 7 days. All right, the drought continues as well. The area is outlined in the darkest shade of red. Exceptional drought, including areas like Leeds, Trussville, Moody, Logan Martin Lake, Talladega. No outdoor burning, please. We're a good 8 inches below average annual rainfall. So we've got none of that in the forecast. Rain I'm talking about, but tons of sun. The Magic City Classic, the 75th annual, kickoff at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Temperatures well above normal. It's going to be warm out there. And then Auburn at Ole Miss, kickoff at 6:15. Temperatures kind of hang out in the upper 70s to near 80. Storm Track 7-day forecast. Look at Monday, Halloween, forecasting highs in the lower 90s. Overnight low temperatures right around 60. New this morning, monarch butterflies are disappearing by the hundreds of millions, and these butterflies are dropping in numbers, partly to blame because of extreme weather and pesticide use. America's most recognizable butterflies being considered for endangered species status because the monarch is in danger of becoming quasi-extinct. What does that mean? It means the numbers are dwindling so low, there's a possibility it may not be able to rebound.
Wow.
Oh, I hope they're able to rebound.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, to this story, for one child battling cancer in California, he lives life to the fullest every single day. And yesterday, he got a big surprise from police. He wasn't in trouble. They were celebrating him and the inspiration he gives others. Here's the story.
A helicopter hovering around, police lights flashing. This may look like a crime scene. But these police officers are carrying not guns, but smiles and gifts.
It's so big, I just can't believe that they all did this for my son.
It's all for 11-year-old Aiden Nelson. His mom, Alicia, says he wanted to be a police officer for Halloween. Alicia says Aiden has been at Valley Children's Hospital for the last 2 months.
He walked into the hospital and became paralyzed 2 days after we arrived. And we learned he has a cancerous tumor on his neck that is terminal.
When a Fresno officer heard about Aiden's Halloween dream, Fresno police, the SWAT team, and even U.S. Marshals decided to surprise Aiden at the hospital Wednesday.
He was shocked. He doesn't like surprises too much, so he was a little bit nervous about what he was waiting for, but when he saw it, he's like, this is so cool. I thought they were just going to come by and say hi and give him, a t-shirt. And so it was pretty cool.
Much more than a t-shirt, officers gave Aiden his very own Fresno police uniform.
I'm just so overwhelmed. I'm so thankful for all the people. I mean, I love my son, but to see other people love on him too is just incredible.
And while he may only be dressing up as an officer for Halloween, officers say he's now one of them for life.
Thank you for them coming out.
In Madera, Shannon Smith, Fox 26 News.
In consumer news this morning, if you love Starbucks, they're getting spooky for Halloween. The Frappula is back. The frozen drink is mixed with, listen to this, white chocolate sauce, milk, and mocha. Sounds good, right? It's topped with strawberry puree to look like what else other than blood. The Dracula-inspired drink is only here until Monday, so you better hurry. My mouth is watering just listening to that story. Well, new this morning, Facebook is testing a new feature that looks a lot like Snapchat. It's a camera that lets you take selfies and videos with filters and masks to post on your news feed. For Halloween, Facebook is letting you try on some different masks like a skull and a witch. Pretty cool, right? And you also can react to posts with spooky emojis. Look at that.
The Grove at the campus of Ole Miss, one of the best traditions of college football, but not so much these days for the Ole Miss Rebels. They've taken a serious fall from grace in the SEC, lost their last 2 games in conference, and now they're playing straight desperate mode against Auburn if they even want to make a bowl game coming up here. Meanwhile, for the Tigers, you got to think they love where they're sitting right now. Gus Malzahn actually the one who's favored to be winning this game, go be it. Kerryon Johnson is expected to play for the Tigers. It's great news because you look at what they did against Arkansas on the ground. As we bring in Chris Wrinkle here in Oxford, they decimated the Hogs on the ground, and Ole Miss actually is worse than Arkansas on rush defense.
Yeah, expecting a lot of old school football, ground and pound style attack from the Auburn Tigers. If your opponent's got a weakness, why wouldn't you exploit it? And the real challenge for the Tigers in this game won't be on the offensive side of the ball. It's going to be that defense, because don't let the fact that Ole Miss has dropped a couple of games and they've fallen off the radar a little bit, they can still score the pigskin. And of course, led by quarterback Chad Kelly, leading the SEC in passing, top 20 nationally. He can throw the pigskin pretty well, and he's got some weapons all over the field. Now, Auburn's defense has been good, but they have been preached to all this week. Do not take this Rebel offense lightly.
In their losses, they scored 34, 43, 30, and 21. That's a lot of points, and it was against some very good defensive football teams.
This Auburn offense, though, seems to have found its 2013 form with the amount of running back depth they have, and that tempo has really been key for the Tigers. It looks like a Gus Malzahn hurry-up offense again, and Auburn sitting very good to score a lot of points like they did against Arkansas last week. Should be a great game between the Tigers and the Ole Miss Rebels. Like Chris said, if Auburn wins, they are sitting pretty to contend for the SEC West. We'll check in later from the Grove in the Red Zone pregame show. Until then, Chris Wrinkle, CBS 42 from the Grove in Oxford, Mississippi.
All right, well, your time right now, it's 5:48. Will weather be a problem for the Magic City Classic? Well, Michael has your full forecast right after the break. You're watching CBS 42 Morning News live look over New York City. As we toss you to break, we'll be right back.
When you walk into the brand new Children's Lighthouse Learning Center in Hoover, Alabama, it's easy to see why it is considered such a fun, warm, and inviting place. Now, enrollment is filling up very quickly, so we talked to some of those mothers to find out exactly why they decided to choose Children's Lighthouse Learning Center.
I love you.
For many new mothers, the search for the perfect daycare starts before their child is even born. Holly Copeland started looking 7 months early.
I love that they send home artwork. Already at 4 months old, they do little footprints and make arts and crafts out of them.
Copeland says that she chose a daycare that would help her daughter stay on the schedule and routine they'd already developed at home.
Because she was sleeping through the night already. And it's every mother's worst fear that they'll stop sleeping through the night anytime your schedule changes at all, even in the teensiest bit. So I was worried when we went to daycare, she'd get thrown off, her naps wouldn't be the same, her feedings wouldn't be the same, and so it'd be chaos at nighttime, but that didn't happen since they're so adaptable.
Children's Lighthouse adapts to the needs of kids in all age groups, including before and after school care for kids up to 12 years old.
What's that?
It's a microphone.
Why?
So they can hear me.
London Miles is at an age where everything is new and exciting.
Speak out because I can't hear you.
You can't hear me, I'm sorry.
She loves learning about the world around her, including our microphones. London's teachers help foster and expand her growing mind.
Every day is something different. The last couple of days it was nocturnal animals. She comes home. Hey, you know what a nocturnal animal is? Do you know what they do? Do you know when they're up? Do you know when they sleep?
London's mom says Children's Lighthouse gives her peace of mind that her daughter receives the best educational enrichment.
This is a second home for her. So my expectations are the same as for myself. The way that I teach my daughter, love my daughter, and instill certain things in her, that's what I wanted from this environment from her. And needless to say, I've gotten it since she has been here.
I enjoy just watching the children learn and grow and progress throughout the different classes, and I love seeing the parents happy, the teachers happy. So it's just a warm environment to be in.
He says every day, I want to go play with my kids. I'm like, what's their names? My kids. I said, okay.
Tanika Pastor says dropping off her son at his old daycare used to be difficult, but now her son wants to go to Children's Lighthouse every day.
And I have a sense of ease because he's excited when I pull in. He's like, I go to my new school. And I even ask, I'm like, do you want to go back to your other school and see your other teacher? He's like, no, I want to go to my new school. So that gives me a little bit of just reassurance knowing that he's excited and he loves to be here.
On screen, we can only show you a small part of what makes Children's Lighthouse a special place.
You have to physically go to the daycares that you're considering to be able to really make a good decision.
Kim and I feel like, you know what I'm saying, we can support our team and be there for them and do it in a loving way, an encouraging way, then those kind of virtues and values will be passed down, and we want that to be, end result is the children here to feel like they're loved and nurtured.
So don't miss this opportunity to enroll today at the Children's Lighthouse Learning Center, or at least get on that wait list. I'm Lillian Lalo with CBS 42.
The preceding portion of the CBS 42 Morning News was sponsored by Children's Lighthouse Learning Center. You're watching the CBS 42 Morning News.
Welcome back, everyone. I know it's a big weekend, Magic City Classic weekend, so a lot of people are going to be outdoors, Michael. There's concerts, there's good food, there's the football game, of course. So what's in store for when they head out this weekend?
Clear, dry, and warm.
right.
Nothing really to spoil your fun other than that wildfire that you can prevent. So let me show you a live look at the city of Auburn's Toomer Corner. Big game, Ole Miss later on tonight, 6:15, playing in Oxford. Here's a look at the forecast for you. If you're on your way to Ole Miss this morning for the afternoon, evening hours, here's what you need to know. It's going to be warm. Temperatures in the lower 80s, maybe the middle 80s really for tailgating. 6:15 kickoff, 79. By the time the game wraps, temperatures in the lower 70s. All right, here's what we're waking up to. Temperatures in the 50s. We should be in the upper 40s. Average is what I'm talking about. Our climatological average low for this time of year, 49. So above the mark. Good morning to you, Birmingham. 58, 56 in Alabaster. Clanton is at 64. Or was that 54? Either or. It is warm and dry. On the thermometer, 54 in Anniston, 56 T-Town. Sun up at 7:14. Once the sun rises, temperatures quickly rebound into the middle 70s by 10 o'clock this morning. Lower 80s noon. And we're going to peak right around 87, breaking the record for the date, which is 86. Yesterday we tied a record set back in 1900 of 86. Okay, the drought is extreme across a good chunk of central Alabama. It's pretty bad, so again, no outdoor burning. Burn bans are in place across many locales. I'm going to walk you through the forecast as we get into the afternoon, hour by hour, with our temperature forecast here. 87 to 86, that's going to be pretty much the unusual norm later on this afternoon. This evening, temperatures come down. Tomorrow morning, right back in the upper 50s, lower 60s, and we're going to do it all over again tomorrow afternoon as those highs run well above normal, which is right around 71 degrees for this time of year. Okay, the Magic City Classic, big game there. Kickoff at 3, temperatures in the upper 80s. And we're not done climbing. Oh no, look at this. Monday, Halloween, forecasting a high of 90. Overnight temperatures in the upper 50s and lower 60s. Alex?
All right, thanks, Michael. Well, your time right now, it's 5:56. 3 people are in custody after a wild police chase across Birmingham. Next, what started the chase, plus we're hearing from police after the situation. You're watching CBS 42 Morning News, a live look over Washington, D.C. as we wake you up on this Saturday morning. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Anniston, and all of Central Alabama. You're watching the CBS 42 Morning News.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us here on CBS 42 Morning News. We have so much to get to, so many fun activities happening this weekend. Michael, Magic City Classic weekend. I know you guys are excited. And of course, to go with that, we have weather because a lot of people are going to be outdoors, the football game.
Yeah,
so,
it's
Michael,
a big deal. It's a big weekend.
Exactly.
Okay, so no big surprise with a few things. The drought continues, so just keep that in the back of your mind as you're out and about doing your thing on this Saturday, whatever it is. Live look outside across the Magic City. The sky is clear. Temperatures in the lower 50s. Good morning to you, Anniston, Tuscaloosa, both at 53. Birmingham at 57. Average low for this time of year is 49. Sun up at 7:04. So once the sun rises, it'll do a number on the numbers. Yesterday we got up to 86. That tied the record for the date set way back in 1900, forecasting a high of 87 today. That'll break the record. Again, here's a look at the drought monitor, and exceptional drought to extreme drought conditions apply to pretty much all of central Alabama. So it's dry outside, no rain in the forecast. Live look at Toomer's Corner, City of Auburn. They're playing in Ole Miss at Oxford. Later on, 6:15 to be exact, kickoff. Temperatures mid to upper 70s. Magic City Classic, there's a parade at 7 or 8 this morning. I'm sure people will be gathering before then to get their parade on. All right, the game kicking off at 3. Temperatures going to be hot outside in the upper 80s. Not done climbing. Same deal on Sunday, Monday, Halloween, 90. And then turning cooler Thursday and the next Friday with highs, hopefully backing off into the 70s and 60s. Alex?
Thanks, Michael. Well, breaking overnight, Detroit police arrest a man they believe was driving a truck that struck and killed an officer. Police say the officer was assisting a traffic stop on the city's west side when he was hit by 54-year-old Steven Guzina. The officer was rushed to the hospital in critical condition, but later died. Police say Guzina ran after the crash, but was taken into custody without incident a short time later. Developing now, a child is recovering after being shot in Avondale. We know that it happened at a home on 2nd Avenue South around 8 last night. Birmingham police say the child was shot in the arm while playing with a gun. Police say he's between 10 and 12 years old. He was taken to the hospital but is expected to be okay. Police are questioning 2 18-year-olds in the case. Also developing now, a police chase through several cities finally ends, and 3 people have now been taken into custody. Vestavia Hills police say the chase started after a robbery call at the Red Roof Inn on Highway 31. They say 2 men in a green Tahoe were seen getting on the I-65 North ramp where an officer tried to get them to stop. Well, police say the chase went through Homewood, Birmingham, and Midfield before ending on Bessemer Superhighway. Shots were fired in that area.
We're talking about a chase through 4 cities. We're talking about a long-term chase that lasted a period of time. Fortunately, it's late in the evening. Traffic was not that heavy. And most concerning to us was the shots fired at the end of the pursuit, which is something our officers are always prepared for, and it seems to be happening more and more lately.
Police took 3 people into custody after that chase. Charges against them are pending. The 2 women robbed at the Red Roof Inn were not hurt. New this morning, Governor Robert Bentley is offering a private meeting to the impeachment committee that wants him to testify. Well, here's the information. Bentley sent letters to the House Judiciary Committee asking to meet in his office on November 10th. The committee has demanded Bentley provide a deposition-like testimony to them by November 9th. The group is investigating if Bentley committed any impeachable offenses. Also new this morning, Alabama Attorney General Luther Strange says he welcomes a Supreme Court review of a case concerning transgender bathroom rights in schools. The U.S. Supreme Court agreed to take up Gavin Grimm's case. He's a Virginia high school student who wants to use the boys' bathroom at school. Grimm says his birth certificate says female, but he's transitioned to being male. A lower court ruled in the student's favor, but the Supreme Court agreed to temporarily stay the ruling while considering the school board's appeal. Attorney General Luther Strange released this statement concerning the SCOTUS decision, saying, quote, "The Supreme Court's actions are an indication that it could eventually overturn the illegal transgender school restroom order and restore control of such decisions to parents and local school districts." New this morning, a judge says a group of attorneys will split $555.2 million for their work on behalf of people and businesses who suffered economic damages after the Gulf oil spill. The ruling does not specify the number of attorneys involved. Money allocation will be determined later. The award is 4.3% of $13 billion settlement. New this morning, tensions remain high at the planned site of the North Dakota Access Pipeline and spread all the way to Minnesota. Protesters met at Minneapolis City Hall Friday. They say the planned 1,200-mile pipeline could contaminate water and ruin sacred Native American land.
My brothers, my auntie,
I've been to Standing Rock. My babies have been to Standing Rock because we believe in the fight for clean water. There's young children the same age as my daughter being maced and being fired on with rubber bullets. I want to know how that's protecting people.
The protesters say they're upset that the county sheriff's office sent deputies to North Dakota. The sheriff's office says it's to, quote, preserve the peace and protect the constitutional rights of protesters. Jury selection will start Monday in a high-profile murder case in Charleston, South Carolina. A pretrial hearing for North Charleston police officer Michael Slager ended Friday. He's accused of shooting an unarmed black man, Walter Scott, to death last year. Defense attorneys submitted a box filled with 2,800 pieces of evidence. Slager was caught on video firing at the 50-year-old father of 4 during a traffic stop. New this morning, protesters marched 2 miles to City Hall in Milwaukee, calling for an investigation into the police shooting death of Sylvia Smith. The district attorney has refused to release the video of the shooting. Well, Smith was shot to death by a Milwaukee officer in August. His brother led a Walking Dead protest asking for charges against the officer. Protesters also took their grievances to a budget meeting at City Hall. The Common Council agreed to write a letter to the DA asking to release the camera footage. The officer who shot Smith has been suspended and charged with sexual assault and prostitution in a different case. Smith's family says that draws more scrutiny on the officer's use of force. Well, right now, severe drought conditions have led to more than 12,000 acres in Alabama being scorched by wildfires. You can see that incredible video right there. Those can spark after something as simple as a cigarette butt being thrown out of a car. Well, some fires are close to neighborhoods like in Leeds or off Highway 280. We spoke with firefighters about how to make your home less flammable. Well, Homewood Fire Chief John Bresnan says keep dry leaves and grass and other flammable items off of and away from your home. Our crew saw several houses in Homewood with dry leaves and pine straw on the roof or in the gutter. And if it catches a spark, well, it could be disastrous.
If something like that on the outside of your house catches on fire, the smoke detector won't go off until there's been significant burning of the house. It's going to have to migrate inside. If it's on your roof, it's probably not going to tell you via the smoke detector. So that early notification that you might normally get on a fire in your house, you might not get until it's already gotten out of hand.
Despite the ongoing burn ban, firefighters in the area say they're still getting calls about people burning in their yard. If you want to clear leaves and brush, please don't burn it. Bag it up and leave it out for garbage pickup. All right, well, right now, Gadsden police are looking for a man they say pushed an elderly woman to the ground and stole her car. It happened outside the Elliott Community Center in Gadsden. Police say the 89-year-old woman was going to play bingo Thursday when she was approached by a man asking for a ride to Glencoe. Well, after she refused, the situation turned dangerous.
She told him that she was playing bingo and had to go play bingo. That's when he attempted to snatch the keys out of her hand. And during this struggle, shoved her to the ground and left with the vehicle.
Right now, the woman is recovering from injuries to her hands and elbows. Police say the suspect is a white man and well-dressed. The woman's car is a white 2008 Buick with the tag number 5421 AM5. If you know anything that can help, please call Gadsden Police.
Hard hit. Russell, double play, inning over.
Yeah, look at that right there. In case you missed it, the World Series returns to Wrigley Field for the first time in 71 years. Can you believe it? But the home team falls behind. The Cleveland Indians beat the Chicago Cubs in a tight game, winning Game 3 1-0. The World Series continues tonight at Wrigley. First pitch is at 7:08. All right, well, your time right now, it's 6:10. A North Alabama student is teaching his classmates about compassion. Coming up, how this man is helping others and planning ahead at the same time.
Live look outside on this Saturday morning. Still dark. Yes, it is still early. Sun up at 7:04. Temperatures in the 50s. A hot afternoon on tap. My forecast after this.
watching the CBS 42 Morning News.
Good Saturday morning to you, Central Alabama. Thank you for joining us. Live look outside. Okay, dark and early, sun up at 7:04. Temperatures right now in the 50s. Average low for this time of year, in case you're wondering about that, 49, so above the mark, but it's comfortable and cool out. 53, good morning to you, T-Town and Anniston. Birmingham at 57. Birmingham Shuttlesworth yesterday tied a record of 86 set way back in 1900. Today, forecasting a high of 87. That's likely to be a new record high for the day. And as we head into the overnight hours and tomorrow, more of the same. We're going to dip back into the lower 60s first thing tomorrow morning and then soar back into the upper 80s tomorrow afternoon. Drought monitor. Really no good news here. It continues to worsen. Extreme to exceptional drought from Birmingham over to Anniston, just south of Gadsden. Basically, all of central Alabama needs to be mindful of not burning anything outdoors. And a live look at Toomer's Corner from the city of Auburn. Big game going on in Oxford, Mississippi later on. Kickoff at 6:15. A pair of 7s on the thermometer. Tailgaters. Temperatures are going to be warm in the mid to upper 80s. Okay, it's the Magic City Classic, big football game at 3 o'clock, and the parade at 8 o'clock this morning. Temperatures early in the 60s, but climbing into the mid and upper 80s. The warmth continues. Okay, look at Halloween. Monday, forecasting a high of 90 and then cooling off, hopefully Thursday into next Friday. All right, let's shift gears. I want to ask you something. Who does not love the sound of waves crashing against the coast? Okay, no one, right? Well, some people in California may have issues with hearing the sound, and these scientists are trying to get an accurate reading of erosion along some of the California cliffs and coasts. One geologist is studying the effects of erosion on the 160-foot cliffs around Fort Funston, but it's just a little too dangerous. So a group that takes aerial photographs of the coastline several times a year is stepping up to the plate to help, allowing the USGS to build a 3D model to get erosion measurements they otherwise would not be able to have. So whether it's water coming down from waterfalls or the coastline, I do love the sounds of waves crashing along the coast.
Don't we all? It's so soothing.
Yes, I'm going there now.
Let's go there. And you know what? Speaking of geological studies, new this morning, a committee in California is focused on learning if a developer hid information from buyers on tilting and sinking issues at a San Francisco high-rise. The 45-story building is sinking 16 inches and tilting several inches to the northwest. The high-rise is being used for luxury condos. Plans for a similar building were scrapped years ago because of the discovery of settling problems. A hearing will also determine if city agencies knew about the issues before the building went up. New this morning, a jury's not guilty verdict in a federal court case against the Bundy brothers and 5 others is still a shock to many in one Oregon town. The family was found not guilty of conspiring to stop federal workers from doing their jobs at the Mahler National Wildlife Refuge. The case signals a major victory for the armed militia who challenged federal control of public lands. One judge says the verdict should lead to change.
We need to talk about what level of safety that can a federal employee count on as he goes to work. What can anyone do at a federal facility?
Judge Grasty says a possible solution is complicated, and right now many people in Burns are focused on moving forward. New this morning, a North Alabama college student is giving back, and it's having a big impact on campus and a lot of people's lives as well. Clarissa McClan introduces us to the student who's inspiring others with his compassion.
Justin Franks keeps busy, a full-time student, fast food restaurant manager, and desk assistant at the Foster Complex at Alabama A&M University. Even with all that on his plate, he's managed to find time to do something else, something that recognizes and responds to the needs of others.
And I know there were some students that said they was going to bed hungry, so I thought about it and said, what can I give back to my community?
So on $40 in faith, he started a food pantry.
I started with pretty much just noodles, and Capri Suns.
Okay.
And then I posted, and I had a few household products like tissue and stuff, and then water.
Then he posted about it on Facebook.
It got a lot of response. It got shared about 600 to 700 times, and so it got around the internet.
The shares and support he hadn't expected.
I didn't think it was going to get shared that much, but people really cared about our students and cared about Alabama A&M University.
But donations came pouring in from faculty, alumni, and different community groups. It got our attention, too. We're just happy to pay it forward to you, and I got cash to give you so that you can get the things that you need to keep the pantry going. Now the pantry is packed.
We have Capri Suns, drinks, the Hug juices, and we have water.
Soup, granola bars, chips.
We have crackers. This is like our snack thing right here. We have crackers and cookies.
Cereal and oatmeal.
We had beef teriyaki to begin with, but those were gone really fast.
So
we had about
variety, though.
Yeah, we had about 100 of these, and they're all gone.
Oh, wow. There's also personal hygiene items and toiletries, but it's more than just things in an old mailroom.
Well, to me, it makes me feel like I'm blessing someone. I'm a religious type person. I feel like I can bless a student, and some nice students be like, "Okay, man, I really appreciate this because I didn't have anything to eat."
It's selflessness and compassion in action. All right, well, that's a great story there. Frank has helped nearly 100 students so far. Students are able to get up to 3 meals twice a week. He's already training someone else to make sure the pantry can continue after he graduates. Good for him, great story. Well, your time right now, it is 6:20. A federal judge steps in to block new abortion restrictions. Straight ahead, what the ruling means for Alabama. You're watching CBS 42 Morning News. We'll be right back.
There are 40 members of the Alabama Ballet Company, and every day they're required to be here to practice their skills because this is their full-time job. Now, coming up this weekend, you'll get to see all of those skills come to life in their production of Bonnie and Clyde.
One of the most exciting things to me about Bonnie and Clyde is the fact that it's not all classical music. We use a lot of popular songs from the time, as well as some live radio broadcasts from when Bonnie and Clyde were actually on the run. So to me, that makes it a lot more cutting edge and interesting than just a solely instrumental ballet.
Not only will this show be interesting for the audience, it's also fascinating for the dancers.
It's a very iconic American story. It's violent, but there's also a nice kind of romance element to it, and the fact that it's a boy and girl team is obviously different, and also kind of, if it was just two dudes running around robbing banks, not that original.
But since it was a young couple, there's the whole love story to it. It is really romantic because they come together out of the blue and they do what they love together, and then they die together tragically, and it's really sad, but at the same time it's kind of cute.
And to these professional dancers, it means fun as well.
Like it's a lot of fun to dance with your friends because you already have such a great relationship, and then you create a relationship as characters.
The friendship built because these dancers are together every day as a company, and that's a fact many people in Alabama don't even know.
I'll go out and, oh, what do you do? I'm a dancer at Alabama Ballet, and they'll have no idea that we do have a professional company. But more recently, I have gotten a lot of, oh wow, like that's like, oh, you're on First Avenue South, like I've seen a production, and that's been great.
And if you want to be one of those people who's also seen a production, check out Bonnie and Clyde this weekend at the Alabama School of Fine Arts. In Birmingham, Lillian Lalo, CBS 42.
The preceding portion of the CBS 42 Morning News was sponsored by the Alabama Ballet. You're watching the CBS 42 Morning News.
Welcome back, everyone. All right, let's get a check on your weekend forecast with Michael Smith. Michael?
Yeah.
You've been saying it's going to be dry and it's going to be hot.
It sure is. Record heat again today. Yesterday broke a record. Birmingham Shuttlesworth International set way back in 1900, Alex. Good morning,
Really?
Homewood. Yeah, long time ago. So we're going to do it again today. The sun is on its way up, sun up at 7:04, so there's Homewood. The sky is clear. Temperatures currently in the low to mid and upper 50s. Good morning to you. Tuscaloosa and Anniston both checking in at 53, 57 right now in Birmingham. Average low for this time of year, 49, so well above the mark, and we're going to continue to climb right back into the upper 70s by 11, lower 80s 1 o'clock, and near 87, which would break the old record of 86 for the date. So more record-breaking heat continues along with the dry conditions. So the drought monitor is showing the areas of concern, including, let's just say, all of central Alabama, some areas worse than others, with extreme to exceptional drought extending from Logan, Martin Lake, Talladega, Metro Birmingham, south to Alabaster, so no outdoor burning. Live look at the city of Auburn's Toomer's Corner on this Saturday morning. Big game, playing Ole Miss. Kickoff at 6:15 in Oxford, Mississippi. Temperatures in the upper 70s at kickoff. And then we've got the Magic City Classic right here at home. Legion Field, 3 o'clock this afternoon. Temperatures up there, 86. And the parade this morning, very pleasant. Temperatures in the low to mid 70s. Okay, let me show you my Storm Track 7-day forecast. Hot, record-breaking heat through Halloween, if not all the way until Tuesday. And then we start hopefully to cool off just a bit. A dry, cool front comes through with very little moisture. The clouds will increase Thursday into Friday. High temperatures forecast to come down 67, so that's actually below our average high of 71 for this time of year. So we'll take it. Overnight low temperatures in the 60s and 50s. Weather on the go, because we know you're always on the go. You can have the weather in the palm of your hand. It's free. Just search WIAT Weather in the app and or the Google Play Store. Alex?
All right, thank you, Michael. Well, your time right now, it is 6:27. A family gathers to say goodbye to a high school senior killed in a tragic accident. After the break, more on the details on the funeral plans for Jeremiah Glass. You're watching CBS 42 Morning News, live look over New York City this Saturday morning. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Anniston, and all of Central Alabama. You're watching the CBS 42 Morning News.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for waking up with us. I'm Alex Spinney, and here we go to a look over Birmingham. Michael, take it away with
All
weather.
right, we're playing Follow the Camera on this Saturday morning. Live look outside. Good Saturday morning to you. We're looking off to the east. What up, Homewood? Sun up at 7:04. Temperatures in the lower 50s right now. Good morning to you. Tuscaloosa and Anniston both checking in at 53. Birmingham, you're at 57. Average low for this time of year, 49. So above the mark. Yesterday, we tied a record high set way back in 1900 of 86. Record heat on tap again today. We're going to get out of the 50s quickly into the 60s and 70s between 7 and 9. And then the upper 80s by 2 o'clock this afternoon. 87 will break the record of 86 for today. A live look, Toomer's Corner, City of Auburn, big game, Ole Miss. Kickoff at 6:15 in Oxford. Tailgaters, temperatures, it's going to be warm. Mid to upper 80s. And then right around game time, a pair of 7s on the thermometer. Game ends. Temperatures lower 70s. Big game right here at home. It's the Magic City Classic, the 75th anniversary. P.S. Kickoff at 3 o'clock. It's going to be warm out there. Highs in the mid to upper 80s. Okay, a warm stretch continues through at least Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday. Temperatures come down into the 60s and 70s. Alex?
All right, thank you, Michael. Happening today, family and friends will say goodbye to a Centerpoint student who died after being hit by a car last weekend. 18-year-old Jeremiah Glass was walking in his neighborhood when he was hit by a car. He died a short time later. Investigators have filed charges against the driver, who they say was driving over the speed limit when the accident happened. Glass's funeral will be today at 11 a.m. at New Rising Star Church on London Avenue. New this morning, a federal judge blocks new abortion restrictions that would ban clinics near Alabama schools and outlaw a common second trimester abortion procedure. Lawmakers passed the provisions last spring. The judge says the restrictions would significantly reduce access to abortions in Alabama, and abortions starting at 15 weeks of pregnancy would become almost unavailable. The judge says a school proximity law would cause the closure of 2 clinics that perform 70% of abortions in the state. Right now, a Shelby County man accused of killing his wife will stand trial. 36-year-old Kenneth Young was indicted by a grand jury yesterday. He's charged with murder, reckless murder, and leaving the scene of an accident with injuries. Police say Young ran over his wife, Kristen Carr, who you see right there, in June. Her body was found outside her home in Calera. Young's next court appearance is set for November. In campaign 2016 news, more examination of Hillary Clinton's emails by the FBI months after the agency's director clears her of criminal charges for using a private email server while she was Secretary of State. FBI Director James Comey sent a 3-paragraph letter to Congress, writing the agency learned of new emails that appeared to be important to the Clinton investigation. The new emails were found during an investigation of former New York Congressman Anthony Weiner, the estranged husband of Clinton's top aide, Huma. In a press conference, Clinton called for a swift release of everything the FBI found, while her opponent jumped on the news during a rally in Iowa.
The investigation is the biggest political scandal since Watergate, and it's everybody's hope that justice at last can be delivered.
Well, Comey defended his decision to disclose the discovery of new emails in a letter to FBI staffers. He says he feels an obligation to tell Congress about the investigation because he testified the earlier investigation was complete. Happening today, it's the 75th annual Magic City Classic. I know a lot of people are excited about this. Alabama A&M and Alabama State will hit Legion Field this afternoon, but the fun, yeah, you guessed it, it's already underway. It's been going on since the latter half of this week. Tailgaters have been set up all around Legion Field since Wednesday, and as our crews found out, there's no shortage of food, music, and more ahead of the kickoff.
Man, I'm finna do turkey legs, I'm finna do ribs, I'm finna do chicken, shrimp, I'm finna do it all. I'm telling you, it's gonna be cooking up right here. I'm letting you know.
Love that. Well, the game, it kicks off at 3 this afternoon. And here are some things you should know. There's a new clear bag policy in place. So only a small bag or clutch with a shoulder or wrist strap will be allowed in. For parking, organizers suggest parking at a free off-site lot, then taking a shuttle to Legion Field. It's a $5 round trip ride. There are 3 different pickup locations at the Crossplex, Sheraton Hotel, and at the BJCC, and also the downtown location. Love that interview. I can't get that out of my head. So much fun. Stay with CBS 42 for up-to-the-minute coverage of the 75th Annual Magic City Classic. You can find everything you need to know online at WIAT.com using the keywords Magic City Classic. Happening today, one VIP will be at the Classic, helping encourage people to get out and vote on November 8th. NAACP National President and CEO Cornel William Brooks will be in Birmingham all weekend. He'll help Alabama NAACP volunteers spread awareness of issues coming up in this year's election. Brooks will also speak at New Pilgrim Baptist Church and Sardis Missionary Baptist Church Sunday morning. Well, also happening today, if your 4-legged family member is feeling left out of all those Halloween festivities, well, there's an event for them. Look at this. The Spooktacular Bassett Bash is happening today from 11 to 2, and you guessed it, the event is free, right? If it's free, it's for me. It's hosted by the Basset Hound Rescue of Alabama. There will be a silent auction, costume contests, hot dog catching contests, and also more family and furry-friendly fun. If you're interested in going, it's all happening at Camp Scotty in Pelham. Whole lot of fun there. Well, your time right now, it is 6:37. A national campaign is hoping to start your holiday season off in a healthy way. Next, we get all the details on the National Eating Healthy Day. Mike.
Thank you, Alex. Live look outside on this Saturday morning. Sunrise in progress. Sun up at 7:04. Temperatures in the 50s now. It's going to be hot this afternoon. My forecast on the flip side of the break.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
watching the CBS 42 Morning News.
Good Saturday morning. Thank you for joining us on the CBS 42 Morning News Weekend Edition. Sun up in about 20 minutes or so. A live look out across Homewood. Good morning to you, Homewood. Temperatures in the 50s. It's 57 right now, Birmingham, 53, Anniston and Tuscaloosa. Average low for this time of year, 49, so above the mark. Let's talk about the drought that continues to not improve, worsen in fact. This dry stretch of weather, we're at day 42, I believe, without any significant measurable rainfall at Birmingham Shuttlesworth International. So the drought monitor showing all of central Alabama within this drought, and some areas are worse than others. Case in point, exceptional drought conditions around Logan Martin Lake, including Talladega, Metro Birmingham, south to Alabaster. Please, no outdoor burning. There are burn bans in place for many locations. Highs today soar back into the upper 80s around 2 o'clock. 87 will break the old record high of 86. We've got the Magic City Classic 75th anniversary going on today. Big game, kickoff at 3. Temperatures up there in the mid to upper 80s, parade at 8, temperatures in the 50s and 60s. A quick look at Toomer's Corner, big game in Ole Miss, Oxford. If you're going to be tailgating, temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, and then kickoff at 6:15, a pair of 7s. I'll have a complete check on my Storm Track 7-day forecast coming up in a few minutes. Alex?
All right, thanks, Michael. Well, you know what, everyone? The holidays are just around the corner, and all that delicious food, Danielle, we know it can be tempting, but you can take the first step to eating healthy now thanks to one organization. And here with me now is Danielle Devers from the American Heart Association. And you know what, Danielle? We were talking about it. Even though obviously we all love those delicious treats during the holidays, there's still ways that you can eat healthy.
Absolutely. You can eat healthy 365 every day of the year. There are great ways to substitute unhealthy options like high sodium by using herbs and garlic, spices, and reduce your sodium. But we're really excited about our new National Eating Healthy Day campaign, which focuses on really trying to get in your recommended fruit and veggie servings. You know, only less than 18% of all Alabamians actually receive their recommended amount of fruits and vegetables. And so the more we incorporate this type of healthy eating into our diets, the healthier our hearts will be.
Yeah. And you were saying Healthy Eating Day. It's Wednesday, everyone, so mark that on your calendars. And there are going to be some fun activities as well to get people ready and motivated to eat healthy, even though it's the holidays.
Well, we're really excited. We're partnering with the City of Birmingham to offer a farmer's market on Wednesday, National Eating Healthy Day, from 11 to 1. It's going to be at Lynn Park, and we're going to have cooking demonstrations from Lawson State, free food. The seafood industry and Snapper Grabbers is actually coming out and giving out some free food. We'll be doing CPR demonstrations.
Oh, wow. So a bunch of stuff.
Really, really fun. It should be a blast, and it's free. And so it's a great way to get some free food, great educational resources, and you can participate in our Vote for Fruit, Vote for Veggie election.
I love that. I love that.
So, you know, the general election is coming up, and so we wanted to really, you know, encourage people to vote for what's going to make Alabama healthy again. And that's either the fruit party or the veggie party. So you have to decide which party you're going to vote for. And you can vote on social media using hashtag EatHealthyAL. Everybody who sends in their vote for either fruit or veggie using hashtag EatHealthyAL will be entered to win a healthy prize pack from the American Heart Association.
Perfect. There's so much information here, Danielle. And you know what this really honestly tells us? And people will be able to learn if they come to the event on Wednesday. People, you think it's so hard to eat healthy, but you guys are going to give people tips that will make it easy. And your kids will be happy. You'll all be happy. You'll still be able to enjoy that holiday food, but be healthy by the time we hit January 1st. All right, Danielle, thank you so much for being here. Always a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
We're going to have all this information on our website, WIAT.com. We'll be right back.
It's that time of year where we're all thinking about updating our living spaces before we start entertaining for the holiday season. We're really lucky. Today we're here at Don's Carpet One with Angie Little. She's a decorator here. So what kinds of things have you been seeing people come in for?
We're having a lot of people come in right now for kitchen remodels. This is a great time of year to start a new remodel project. We can get that done before the holidays. Flooring's really a great project to focus on because it's quick. You can update your home very quickly and have a great fresh look.
Nice. Okay, so if people are watching right now and they know they want to do something, they know they want to have that special new look before everyone comes into town, or they have that big holiday party, what's the best strategy for them? Should they call you? Should they just come in?
We do both.
Okay.
They can call and set up an appointment for us to come out and measure, bring them samples, or they can come in and get the full effect, get to see everything that we have to offer. We have designers and decorators on staff that can help them through the process.
Nice. And I love your showroom because it really does show all the different styles that they offer, and you can come in and touch the materials and see them in person. What about carpeting?
Carpeting's very popular right now. We're seeing a lot of wools and Berbers, soft strands, carpets that are very soft, but yet they're very strong. Nice. Those projects only normally take a day or two to complete.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't realize that it was so quick.
It is.
And then I know that when it comes to buying carpet, you do have to think about your family and kind of the foot traffic it's going to get. And so I like what you're saying, that they're soft and strong.
Yes.
At the same time.
Yes.
That's
very
awesome.
durable.
Good. Okay, so this is really helpful for people, and I know that y'all are also having some good sales right now.
We are. Right now we have free carpet installation.
Wow.
And we're also offering a free hard surface labor credit, and we're offering 60 months no interest as long as you make equal monthly payments.
Wow, so this is the perfect time to invest. I mean, seriously, people get so excited about the holiday season and they want to have that new look, but then y'all are adding on that great deal. So that makes it, there's no excuse. Well, thank you so much for letting us talk to you today.
Thank you for coming.
And so if you're watching at home and you're ready to take the next step, they've got 2 physical locations. You can go to the Vestavia or Trussville location, pop in anytime. They are so nice here, I know from personal experience, super nice people. And then you can also give them a call as well. So definitely don't delay. You still have time to remodel your space before the holiday season. I'm Lillian Lalo with CBS 42.
The preceding portion of the CBS 42 Morning News was sponsored by Don's Carpet One. You're watching the CBS 42 Morning News.
Hey everyone, welcome back. For those of you just joining us, welcome. Happy Saturday. Let's get a check on your forecast, your weekend forecast with Michael Smith.
Yep.
Michael, you've been saying all morning long that dry conditions are sticking around.
Yep, and the heat will continue. Record-breaking heat. Yesterday it tied a record 86. Originally set back in 1900. We're going to do it again. I think we're going to break the record. Live look outside. Sunrise at 7:04. Good morning to you, Birmingham. 57, 53, Anniston and Tuscaloosa. Average low for this time of year, 49. The drought continues to worsen. No outdoor burning, please. Exceptional drought conditions stretch from Birmingham over to Talladega, including Logan, Martin Lake, Childersburg, Sylacauga. So again, water levels are low. No rain in the forecast today. In fact, temperatures will get out of the 50s into the 60s and quickly jump into the upper 80s by 2 o'clock this afternoon and step down into the upper 60s by 8. And then, of course, today, big day, the Magic City Classic, the 75th annual Magic City Classic. Tailgaters, temperatures going to be up there, upper 70s. Game starts at 3 this afternoon, kickoff 86. And live look, speaking of football, all right, Toomer's Corner, there we go. It's Auburn. They're playing in Mississippi. Ole Miss, kickoff at 6:15 this evening. Temperatures warm in the mid to upper 70s. Okay, it's going to be like that, hot on Halloween. near 90, and then we cool off Thursday into Friday, highs at that point in the 60s and 70s. Alex?
Looking good for Halloween, nice and hot. All right, well, your time right now, it is 6:55. We take a look at your top stories right after a short break, so stay with us right here on CBS. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for waking up with us. We will see you back here tomorrow morning starting at 5 a.m. Take care.